Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, The Prodigy of the Universe. It's your girl, Kimmy, in the building. I'm here because I wanted to talk, as you can see from the title, about spirituality, okay? First and foremost, do you think you're crazy yet? Do you think you're crazy yet? That is the question. Do you think you are crazy yet? You're not. I'm here to tell you you're not. Okay? Everything is spiritual. Okay? If you see me looking over here, it's because I took notes and sometimes I need to refer back to them. I'm going to talk about everything spirituality in this reading. If you hear for a reason. Okay? Whether you newly awakened or you've been awoken. Okay? You're here for a reason. At the end of this reading, I'm going to pull on spiritual contracts with these cards, the past life deck, because I'm guided to and I feel like it can possibly reveal what type of spiritual contract you might have. And I'm going to break this down individual signs because that way it's more specific, okay? Now, first and foremost, everything is spirituality, okay? Everything is spiritual before it's even physical, okay? We are born into this world with certain gifts, abilities, okay? Certain things. God is genius. I always say that. God is a genius, okay? He is the genius of all geniuses. He is the Alpha and the Omega. He or she, okay? For me, God is probably both, okay? The divine feminine and masculine energies. God created everything and all things in this world, okay? Don't argue with me, argue with your mama about, okay? Because the topic is so broad, we can only scratch the surface, okay? We would never really truly know everything spiritually, okay? I don't care how great of an astrologer you are, how great of a reader you are, you would just never. Everything ain't meant for us to know, okay? Life is one big mystery, and God does move in mysterious ways. Like, so whether you consciously awoke or unconsciously not awakened, then life tends to still move. Everything is vibration. Everything moves, okay? Nothing is really real. Nothing is really solid. If you ask me, this is my personal opinion on life, okay? And spirituality. Things are spiritual even when we don't know they spiritual. Like, nothing is a coincidence, okay? I always said that. Y'all can scroll down to the very first video I ever made. I always say that. Nothing is a coincidence because we cross paths with people for reasons, okay? Nothing is an accident, even though, you know, you might have lost somebody in an accident and you feel like, damn, that was an accident. Nope, I'm sorry, it wasn't. But it was destined for that person to go in that way, okay? And I'm speaking on that because, you know, me personally, I've lost my nephew in what was called an accident, which really wasn't an accident. And because I read birth charts and I can, you know what I mean? I just don't like to. I realized that it was never an accident, okay? That it was all meant to be. So, unfortunately, we all can't go the same way. And that's just how the physical mind and people here on the physical earth look at things, because it's a better way. It is a way of finding rest with whatever happened, okay? But hey, it is what it is. We living in truth over here, you know, and we not sugarcoating shit, okay? So with that being said, let's stop with that, okay? Let's stop with that. So everything is spiritual, as we know. You know, even before things become things, they start with a single thought, okay? Which means it haven't even manifested yet. It's in another realm. They call it the 5D or whatever. It manifests in the spiritual realm first, okay? Before it gets here on the physical realm, okay? Before it show up in your life in the 3D, it already is manifested in the spiritual realm, okay? And just because we cannot see things do not mean these things don't exist. For many of us in this world who are unawakened or simply people that are half awakened, A lot of people, it's easier for them to process things that they don't understand with simply saying it's not real, or that can't be, or it don't exist. But one thing I've learned about life through personal life experience, that anything is possible and nothing is impossible, okay? And just because you cannot see it with the naked eye, that's why they invented microscopes, because some things you can't see with the naked eye. The microscopes helps them look more into it. But just think about it. We don't have a microscope for the whole entire universe. But what if we did? What if we did? Imagine the things that you might see. And imagine if that microscope was able to pick up on non-terrestrial, what they call it, unseen things. Can you imagine all of the things you would see? Okay. What if we created a microscope that seen other dimensions? Okay. Somebody out there is probably trying to do this too, by the way. That just came to me, because if you thought about it, somebody else had already thought about it. But anyway, nothing new is under the sun, okay? Nothing new happens on this earth that ain't already happened, okay? And a lot of people say, too, things are happening spontaneously. That means all at once, okay? The past, present, and future could be happening all at once. Some of us still trying to figure it out. We really just don't know. Everybody's here assuming and speculating, and that's the truth, okay? That is the fucking entire truth, okay? So, everything is spiritual, okay? So, when people take from what's spiritual because they do not understand it because of fear or whatnot, it does something to my spirit. You know what I mean? And even me being here talking to you guys right now, it was all spiritual. Like, even when I did not understand it. Sometimes we don't understand things. Sometimes we fear things. I even feared it at one point. I was running from my own spirituality since I was young. Like, I knew about these things that was happening to me. I can talk about some weird experiences that I done had throughout life. Like, for example, being younger and being able to see things in my mama's house. Like, I moved out of her house at 17 years old, and I never moved back in. And that's just because at that point in time, I was growing into myself, evolving into myself. But me not knowing unconsciously what was going on. Why am I in your house seeing things? I cannot understand it. Nobody around me could understand it. They called me crazy, or they just totally denied me seeing anything. And I know what the fuck I seen. Okay. And I was wide awoke in my right mind. And I thank God for my right mind still to this day, because some people can't handle the truth. But what I'm saying is, I had some hell of a personal life experiences that were spiritual. And, if you don't understand it, or you fear it, or can't make sense of it, it's easy to say, oh, it's something else. Or it's easy for other people to say it's something else, okay? When everything is spiritual. Everything, okay? We're just not these people walking around with these human bodies, okay? We were created in the womb. Before the womb, we had a spirit. We had a soul, okay? And that didn't go nowhere. It gave us life, okay? And before you had a physical body, you were a spirit and a soul. So with that being said, everything starts spiritually speaking. So some of y'all need to get that through your head. Really. And if you a spirit, if God a spirit, this is another thing I can't get. People believe in God, which is an unseen, invisible force, okay? But they don't believe in ghosts, or they don't believe in spirits. How? That's all I want to know. How? You cannot have one without the other. Period. I mean, use your common sense. And some people don't have common sense, but I mean, come on now. It's certain things we were born with to know that it's truth, okay? And don't ignore it, okay? We are in the age of Aquarius, where truth is being revealed right now. The veil is being dropped right now, okay? It's falling, okay? So with that being said, this is why I wanted to have this conversation and talk to you guys about spirituality, period. Spiritual lessons, spiritual contracts, because some of us tend to play with these things and just, don't know that it's real. but we talk about real shit over here. So yeah. I was talking about the weird life experiences that I was having. Like, that was one, and I was really little, didn't understand it until I got older, okay? And certain things is not for us to understand until later. That's just how God works in mysterious ways, okay? In divine timing. It wasn't meant for me to know then, okay? Why? It could have a lot to do with me being a Capricorn and everything happens later on in life. I don't fucking know. But a lot of people would say that, okay? And it might be true, okay? It's gonna happen differently for all of us. Like, I know some kids that are fully awakened and a lot of people not, okay? So it was just meant for those kids to be fully awakened at that time as kids, you know what I mean? And that's how this shit work. That's how spirituality works, okay? It depends on your birth chart, the placements in your birth chart, the transits, and all that stuff too, okay? So know that your birth chart makes you you. It's not just one sign. Everybody believe we have one sign, the sun sign, but no, we have 12 different houses with 12 different signs. And in those 12 houses with those 12 signs is also transits and different things, trines and different things like that will have this energy playing out here on earth like it is in heaven, okay? Like it is in the sky, like it is with the planets, okay? For example, like, y'all seen that movie Us? Like, we are the people that's underground, and the planets are those people that was above ground, okay? Just watch a clip if you have never seen it. Then you'll understand what I'm trying to say. But that's how the world works. That's how God works. Yeah, so what's happening above is happening below, okay? As above, so below, okay? It's spiritual shit, okay? It's very spiritual. And I don't believe you can learn everything in one lifetime. And that's why we are reincarnated. And that's another thing. Reincarnation is a form of spirituality. Like me personally, I never used to believe in it. But how could you not? When you know the truth, it's hard to go back to sleep. It's hard to ignore the truth. Some people do though. But I'm not one of them, okay? So I had to come to terms where my beliefs changed. Where I didn't believe in reincarnation. Because what the fuck is that? And then suddenly I do. You know what I mean? Because of personal life experience, okay? And you can watch videos on that. It's certain people that done died before and came back here and helped find their bodies and their killers. I mean, come on now. All this is public record. It's you can Google it, okay? Learn about it. I encourage everybody to do their own research. Don't just go off of what I'm telling you, okay? But I'm not going to tell you no lies over here, okay? So, yeah, another personal life experience. One time, I was waiting on my house to get ready, so I had stayed in a shelter because I'm the type, I'm not living with nobody, okay? I was just waiting on my house to get ready, so I was staying in a shelter, okay? And if you don't know what a shelter is, it's like an organization or a place where people go to when they don't have nowhere to go, and people will help you until you get a house or until your house get ready. For example, my situation, okay? I had a house, but the house wasn't ready yet completely for me to move in. So I had to stay there for a minute. And a lot of this comes from total strangers. And why I say that is because I met a total stranger in this shelter and did not know this lady, did not ever see her again after this. But this is how earth angels come to you, or different prophets and, people that are gifted can come to you. This lady, she was just watching me. She was supposed to be like the secretary or the receptionist in this office of the shelter. And I'm just shooting by regular. I wake up every morning. I get my kids a bath. I get them ready for school. I had a car, so we basically eat breakfast and then we head out. It's called the day room. And we're only there to wash up, put our clothes on, get our day started, and we out, right? So I wasn't there long. And I didn't know this lady. And so she was looking at me and I'm wondering to myself, why is this lady staring at me? So she's watching me interact with my children. And I'm shooting my regular, doing my motherly duties or whatever. And she looked at me and she just said, "You are a good mom." And I'm just thinking to myself, this lady don't even know me. Like, because I don't really take to strangers too well. I don't talk to strangers. You taught your whole life, don't talk to strangers. You know what I mean? Because I come from the hood where people will kidnap you. You know what I mean? You supposed to say no to strangers, run the other way. You feel me? So I'm just thinking to myself, like, this lady is crazy. She don't know me. Like, how do she know that? So I'm thinking, okay, she's staring at me. She watching me with my kids. So then she get this talking crazy, like, you one of us. I'm like, what the hell to myself? I'm thinking, what the hell she mean by that? I'm one of them. I don't even know who you is, lady. Like, and it was kind of scary. So I'm just quiet because that's who I am in real life. I'm only social on social media. So I'm just quiet. And I'm at this point, when she said you one of us, I'm like, oh yeah, this lady crazy as hell. She out of her mind. I don't know who this lady is. I'm thinking all this shit in my head. So I'm hurrying. I done sped up the process and getting my kids ready so we can get the fuck out of here, right? And I'm a little nervous, but I'm not trying to let it show. But I'm just like, okay, yeah, something wrong with her. You know, some people ain't got it all. Okay. So, you know, and I'm just like, okay, I'm ignoring her, but at the same time, how could you ignore something like that? So, again, I'm speeding up the process, getting them ready so we can leave. And she continues to talk. And then she says, well, why don't you come and visit my church? And she tells me where her church is at, okay? And it's like 30 minutes from where we were at. So I'm like, okay, one day maybe. And that's all I said to her. And she told me where the church was at. And she seemed like, okay, now I'm thinking, okay, so now maybe she got some sense and she's just a church person and she's trying to get me to come to her church. Because that's how people is when they church people. Okay. And it's not that I never went to church. So I'm used to this. Like, I'm used to people inviting me to their church and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I will go. But maybe she not crazy. Maybe that was just her way to say, I need to come to her church. So, yeah. And, I don't know. It was just, she gave me a weird vibe. And it's like she wanted to say more. But she said so much. And she probably seen that it scared me. So she quit talking. And to this day, I still really don't understand in depth what that lady was talking about. Except for me being prophetically gifted. You know what I mean? Because the things that she was saying to me before she invited me to the church, it was kind of weird. It was kind of strange. You feel me? And it was like, you don't know me, lady. Okay. But, you know, she was basically hitting stuff on the head. Like, and that's pretty much all I can remember her saying. But I left out of there with the quickness and it just messed with my mental all after that. It stuck with me. Like, and that's what I go back to saying certain words. Like, you could meet somebody one time in life and they cross your path and it's not a coincidence. And they can say one thing to you and it'll stick with you for the rest of your life. That's why I said be careful with your words in that other video. If you didn't watch it, go check it out. But certain words stick with people. And that stuck with me for months and months and months and years after that to this day. I will forever remember that lady. And I don't know that lady's name. I never went to that lady's church. But she was like, you one of us. And that's what did it. It was like, ding, ding, ding. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know what this lady's talking about. But that's just another life experience personally that I went through. Now, another one, which I could not deny. I was having Bible study in my house. I was like, growing up, I was in my early 20s. I was getting into it with my children's father. Really bad to where I just wanted to go to God. I just wanted to change my life. I had just lost a child. I was in a bad place, the darkest place in my life. And I just really wanted to hear from God. So I used to write down things like I do now, automatically, unconsciously, not knowing, just wanting to hear clearly or see clearly what God is saying to me. So I used to involuntarily do these things. You know what I mean? To try to know what God is saying to me. I struggle with knowing which conscious voice was God's because I'm hearing all these voices in my head and I want to know, okay, so which one is really God? Like, some of y'all still struggle with that to this day. But we all know we have a conscience, right? We have a good one and a bad one, or the light one and the dark one. Everybody has one, okay? That don't make you crazy. It makes you you. Okay, but me, what I struggled with then was, okay, God can't just come from the heavens and speak to me like I'm speaking to y'all. But I wanted him to, or her to. And since that couldn't happen, I used paper, and I would go back and read it later and see what God is saying to me. And that helped me to hear from God. And certain times I read and I'm like, I didn't say that. I would never say something like that. So I know it came from a higher power. Okay. So that helped me to distinguish at that time God talking to me. Okay. He actually gave me the name of my first channel, and I never knew then years later I would be doing this. And that's what I named my first channel, which was Beloved 1111 Intuitive Tarot. Some of you guys know me from that channel. Some of you don't. But hey, I've been doing this, okay? But I told this before on that channel. So not only that, I used to have Bible study at my house, and literally I got so deep into it where I wasn't going to church every Sunday, but I was going to church. But I was having Bible study with my sister, my friends, whoever I invited over to my house. And we would just have Bible study and get in the spirit and feel God inside my house, right? And it's truly the only way I ever felt or came in contact or encountered the Holy Ghost in my own house, not in church. And so I invited my sister's friend, which I didn't know this lady. This lady didn't know me. Never met her in my life, but she came. And she came to my house, and we was, doing our little thing. We prayed, you know what I mean? She was prophetic. And I never knew this about this lady, which was kind of scary because she was so gifted. It was kind of scary. It was like somebody knowing everything about you, and you don't know nothing about them. And it was just like, it was kind of weird. But at the same time, it had to be God, because nobody else knew these things but you and God, right? So she would tell me things that only me and God should have known. How did she know? Because she was gifted. Okay, and this is how you would know if somebody is gifted. When certain things come to pass in your life. Okay, maybe they might not come to pass till later in life, because a lot of things she told me, I had no clue about when she was saying it. Like, what? You know what I mean? And I was just like, no, she's not talking about me. But yeah, she was. And certain things she would let me know. She would say certain things to let me know she's talking about me. But then she'd say certain things that had to do with my future that I didn't even know about yet. And I was like, okay, now that's scary. Because at that time, I didn't know anything about tarot or, what they call witchcraft or whatever. And she began to pray for me, and one day, and she was just like, well, I rebuke the spirit and all this stuff. And I'm just like, hold on. First of all, that really scared me, because I was taught my whole life, you don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't get into that. But everybody know when you dealing with tarot, you might encounter people to say that anyway, okay? But again, it's the person's intentions behind the cards. It's just the card, you guys. It's good and bad and everything, and I explained this before. Y'all can go find the videos, but just because you do tarot don't mean it's witchcraft. It's how you use it, your gifts and your abilities, or the cards, or the craft, whatever it is that you use, okay? But she seen it beforehand, and I didn't see it, and I didn't know it, you know what I mean, until years later. And now it's clicking, like, this is what that lady was talking about. And I'm just like, what? So I struggled with doing tarot at first. I had to really pray to God, like, God, if this not what you want me to do, don't have me doing it, but I see now none of that was a coincidence. And that's just how she looked at it at the time, because a lot of church people would look at it like that. I mean, she had her own church, you know what I mean? So a lot of church people would look at it like that, because again, they just a lot like the scientists. When people fear, that I ain't gonna say people fear. People fear what they don't understand, and when they can't make sense of it, they try to explain it. And A lot of church people would explain it just like that without knowing, like, oh, it's witchcraft. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's witchcraft if you use it in a certain way, in a dark way or whatever. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Everybody entitled to their own opinion. Okay? But I don't use my craft in that way. So with that being said, I don't do witchcraft. And I'm not in denial at all. You know what I mean? I'm just a messenger. God uses me as a vessel to deliver messages clearly and accurately, hopefully. Okay? So with that being said, I try to keep it that way. I try to be fair, honest, and just with you guys. Because again, this is people's real life. And I don't play with that. Because I didn't want nobody playing with me. Okay? So I do my best to live upright with this spirituality thing, okay? But I'm not perfect. I too fall short. So I pray every day, God protect me from what I don't know. You know what I mean? The known and unknown. Because you never know. Some things we do unconsciously, okay? And we're not aware of, okay? So with that being said, I don't know really what that lady was talking about, but she was, I feel, talking about tarot and what she's seen me doing later on in life. Okay, when I wasn't even thinking about tarot at that time. So she said a lot of more things. I'm not gonna go all into that, but just this is how you cross paths with different people in life, personally, that God will send to you or send your way, to speak with you. To speak with you, to communicate with you, to tell you things, to show you signs, to help you grow and evolve, or just to make you feel better. It just depends on what God is trying to deliver to you. He will use total strangers to do that for you sometimes, okay? He will use circumstances and situations as well. But in that way, God works in mysterious ways, okay? So you will encounter people sent by God. You will also encounter people sent by a lower vibrational energy, which I call the devil. Like, because it's all energy, no matter how you look at it. It's all spiritual. And it's all pretty much connected. We are one. Okay? So, I need y'all to understand that. We not just born with all lights. So, let's start there. We have a good conscience and a bad conscience. Everybody do. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We all born with light and dark. That's why we have to do shadow work. That's why we have to heal. That's why we have to work on ourselves. Nobody is excluded. You understand me? Okay. Okay. This I know to be true. So yeah, with that being said, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You can come in contact with different people that'll make you feel crazy. You can come in contact with a lot of things, especially when you're gifted. Unseen forces, spirits, ghosts. Yeah, they come to you too. I've had those encounters. I'm not crazy. I'm in my right mind when I'm saying this, guys. It's all real. It's all real. At different times in my life, these things have happened for whatever reasons. But I feel like it was all tied in together to get me on my path of the spiritual path, you know what I mean, that I'm on. And I've tried to avoid it. I've tried to run from it. I've tried to fight it. But God got a way of putting you on the right path, okay? If that's the one you're supposed to be on, again, consciously or unconsciously, you're going to be on that path, okay? It's better to be conscious of it, okay? But everything is spiritual in that way. Like, period. Everything is. I don't know nothing that is not, okay? Every animal, everything, okay? On this earth has a purpose, okay? And we all connected. We connected with everything on this earth, okay? I'm not just talking about what people that invented and created, because we are co-creators. But I'm talking about the things that we didn't create, the spiritual things that God created, okay? We are still connected. You cannot be the creator and disconnected from your creation. That's like me making this channel, but disconnecting myself from it. Yeah, I can do that, but it will forever be a part of me. You understand? It will always be connected to me. You understand? So I just wanted to speak on that. And let's just get right into it about what, not so much of what might be a spiritual lesson. Okay, so let's talk about spiritual lessons. Spiritual lessons help us to grow and evolve. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, sorry, because I be hearing stuff. Okay, so spiritual lessons help us to grow and evolve, and they are necessary in life because some people would never grow up. Some people definitely got the Peter Pan syndrome. Okay, that's why we have Saturn return. You don't know what that is, go look into it, do your own research. But I'm not going to get off into all that. But these spiritual lessons are meant for growth and evolution for all of us. Not just one of us, not just some of us, but all of us. And we all have soul contracts or spiritual contracts. And even a baby that might only live for 3 weeks and die had a spiritual contract here on this earth, okay? It don't matter if you're 100 years old. You have a spiritual contract here on this earth. We all come with spiritual contracts and spiritual lessons. Okay, so just know that as well. So I wanted to pull cards on what might be a spiritual lesson or contract for you. Okay, right now that you might be dealing with. And I'm going to use this past life deck to do that. Okay, so we're going to go from Pisces to Aries in that order. Okay, we're going to go backwards. We're going to go backwards. We're going to see what might be your spiritual contract. Right now. Okay, because we might have, I feel we have several different spiritual contracts. Okay, it's just not one, because I feel like we have one major one though. And that is your spiritual path that you are supposed to be on, which your rising sign controls that. That is your spiritual path, okay? That's why knowing your rising sign is very important, okay, to me. It's the most important one because that's your spiritual path, okay? That's the major one. But I feel like we have smaller ones as well. We might have several, but I'm just going to pull on the most important one. Hopefully that is my intentions for you guys so you can have a better understanding of what might be a spiritual contract for you right now, okay? That you might be working on or going through. So let's get started with Pisces. Show me Pisces and their spiritual contracts that's relevant right now. Dang, Pisces. We got orphan, okay? So your spiritual contract, Pisces, might have a lot to do with, and I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can, guys, so bear with me. I feel like your spiritual contract right now that might be big in your life is you feeling orphaned or feeling like you have nobody or feeling alone, okay? You might have abandonment issues, childhood issues, etc., stuff like that. You might feel like, you had to raise yourself. You might feel like just alone in this world, okay? So this is your biggest spiritual contract is what's coming out, okay? You feeling like an orphan, okay? And I guess this is spiritually speaking, you not feeling like God is with you or here to help you or, people around you, okay? You just feel very much alone, rejected, and abandoned, okay, by people. So this is your biggest spiritual contract. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to give y'all enlightenment on that. And you can work on it, get more information about it, and try to heal it. Because when we have these spiritual contracts, we are to fulfill them, period. Okay? They're not all good. They're not all easy. But we are to fulfill them. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Pisces. Let's go to Aquarius. Aquarius, we got medicine, man or woman here. So I feel like man or woman, Aquarius, your spiritual contract have to do with healing, okay? Whether this is holistic healing, or being an actual doctor or nurse in this lifetime, I feel like your spiritual contract here has something to do with medicine or healing, okay? That's what's coming through. That's what I get from this card. You are a healer in some type of way. You are to heal humanity in some type of way. This is your biggest spiritual contract. You might see a lot of people, okay, they say when you're a healer, you get a lot of damaged people that come towards you. Well, if you're wondering why you keep meeting fucked up people, this is why, Aquarius. You are a healer. You are supposed to heal these people in some type of way, okay? That's what I got for you. So, again, I'm just bringing awareness, enlightenment. You know, do your own research. Just know this is your biggest spiritual contract in this life. Okay. So, let's go to Capricorn. Show me Capricorn. Again, Capricorn, I'm getting the same thing I got with Pisces. So, yeah, you feel alone, rejected, abandoned a lot. Okay, I don't care if you have 1,000 people around you, Capricorn. Your biggest soul contract is feeling alone, feeling abandoned, feeling rejected by people, maybe even by things, okay? Not having shit, okay? Feeling like an orphan is like a child that feels like they have no one. They have no one but themselves. Maybe you had to grow up early, okay? Maybe you had to do a lot of things alone. This is your biggest soul contract. Feeling alone, feeling like nobody is there, feeling like maybe even the universe rejected you or abandoned you. This is what I'm getting, Capricorn. So I hope that makes sense, okay? Your biggest soul contract in this life. With the orphan card, maybe some of you guys even experience foster homes or something like that. Is what I'm getting. Okay, so let's go to the next sign, which is Sagittarius. Show me Sagittarius and their biggest soul contract. Show me Sagittarius and their biggest soul contract. We got orphan again. So I feel like I'm repeating myself, and it's okay because some of us is here with the same soul contracts, okay? And so Sagittarius, you might come in contact with a whole bunch of Capricorns, or who else got this card? Pisces. You might come in contact with a lot of those people, because just like certain life paths come in contact with each other, like you might find that a lot of people around you are the same life path. I'm getting, you might come in contact with a lot of these people. But again, Sagittarius, you have issues with feeling alone, feeling abandoned, and rejected, feeling like you have nobody. Maybe you had to grow up fast. Maybe you had to do a lot of things on your own. Maybe you had to be your own parent. Yeah, this is your biggest soul contract in this life. And what you should work on, okay? Feeling alone is what I keep hearing. So that's what I got for Sagittarius. Let's see. Out of all these cards, it's no coincidence, guys, that card keep coming out. But anyway, Scorpio. Show me Scorpio and their biggest soul contract here on this earth. Again, we have multiple, but this is your biggest one. And I'm just giving you the enlightenment so you can work on it. Scorpio, yours is with angels. And this makes sense because y'all rule death. Y'all rule the other side, okay? Scorpio energy, Pluto energy. But anyway, your biggest soul contract here, Scorpio, is either something with angels, okay? It's either, so y'all here to change lives, okay? Period. Anybody y'all come in contact with, y'all change lives. And y'all can do that for the good or the bad. It's really up to you, okay? It's what I'm hearing. But angels are here. So I feel like your biggest soul contract got to do with angels. Maybe you come in contact with a whole bunch of angels, okay? I'm feeling like this. Like you might have had some miraculous things that happened to you in life, Scorpio, and you don't know why. Because you here with a whole bunch of angels. Or you come in contact with a whole bunch of angels. Now, some of y'all might be seeing angels, okay? And don't be scared. Because you got that power, being a Scorpio. Just know that. So your biggest soul contract here got to do with angels. Earth angels, angels from the other side. That's what I'm getting, Scorpio. So I hope it makes sense. Because it do to me. Now let's go. Libra. Show me Libra's biggest soul contract here on this earth. Libras in their biggest soul contract. Writer or scribe. Okay, so Libra, what I'm getting for you. Some of y'all are talented, is what I'm hearing. With writer or scribe here, y'all biggest soul contract is to write. Okay, scrolls. Okay, so y'all got access to the Akashic records, is what I'm hearing. Also, so you might know some things. You don't know how you know these things because you got keys. You got access to the Akashic records, is what I'm hearing. But some of y'all are very talented, and your biggest soul contract here is to write. Write a book, write raps, write songs, or something like that. That's what I'm getting. Okay, your biggest soul contract here got to do with scrolls. That's sacred information or writing. Okay, some kind of writing, some kind of craft that has to do with writing songs, raps, poems, something like that, etc. Okay, put the pen to the paper. Okay, and maybe some of y'all channelers. Okay, maybe some of y'all got the gift of automatic writing. Okay, apply it to your life. But this is your enlightenment. Okay. It's spiritual, I feel. So yeah, many of y'all got access to the Akashic records. So that's y'all biggest soul contract in this life, Libra. So I hope it made sense. Y'all let me know. Okay, so who before Libra? Virgo. Show me Virgo's biggest soul contract here on this earth. Same thing, Virgo. Y'all are writers. Write a book, write a rap, a song, something. Y'all got access to the Akashic records as well. So you don't know how you know these things. You granted access is what I'm hearing. Same thing with Libra, okay? So yeah, y'all biggest soul contract here could just simply be to write a book, or simply be to write a song, or this don't have to be for you. It could be for other people. They call them ghost writers, okay? So yeah, apply it to your life. But you would already be doing this, or have done this, or been into this. Okay, that's how you would know these are y'all soul contracts. Okay, but again, some of y'all, this is spiritual, and you have access to the Akashic records because I'm seeing scrolls here. Okay, sacred scrolls is what I'm hearing. That's for you, Virgo. Okay, so let's see. Who's before Virgo? Leo. Show me Leo and their biggest soul contract here on earth. Finances, Leo. And y'all love to get money, right? Okay. Leo, your biggest soul contract here, I'm hearing for some of y'all is to become rich, okay? But don't forget you heard it here first. Look out for your girl, okay? But finances. You are to get into finances, something with finances. I don't know if it's crypto. I'm getting the bag, them coins, okay? Finances, work with money. You are to work with money, accumulate money, or something like that. This is your biggest soul contract, is to get money, accumulate money, share the money. I don't know, apply it to your life. But it has something to do with finances, okay? Something to do with finances. Some of y'all are promised a lot of finances, okay? And that's just what I'm getting. So, know that. I'm hearing the fame, the fortune, the bag, okay? So some of y'all are destined to be rich in this lifetime, Leos. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting for y'all. That's not going to be for all y'all. Some of y'all, it just might be to work in a bank, okay? A financial institution of some kind. Or to work, getting money, maybe business even, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so yeah, you are to work around money or to get money. That's what I'm getting. So I hope it makes sense, Leo. You might find that money comes to you. Okay, something about finances. Or you put in these situations where, you were asked questions about money, or you happen to manage money or something like that. Maybe even budgeting or something like that. I feel like these things would have already been crossing your path, okay? Because we get signs, we get synchronicities, okay? So that's just to help you out. So let's see. Cancers. Show me Cancer and their biggest soul contract here on earth. We got trees, Cancer. And when I get this card, I say you need to be grounded, okay? So your biggest soul contract here, Cancer, is to learn how to be more grounded. It's to simply grow and evolve, okay? I'm hearing roots flourishing. And they showing me this big ass tree, okay? This is a strong tree, okay? A big one, okay? So your soul contract here in this earth, Cancer, is I'm feeling to be stronger, to grow and evolve, being more grounded, okay? Everybody's soul contract not big, okay? So I'm getting yours not even that big. It's to just stay grounded, to set up roots, okay? That's what I'm hearing, okay? That is the biggest soul contract for you. So you might have other soul contracts. Okay. Like I said, everybody's ain't to be rich or something like that. It's simple shit. Okay. So yours is simple is what I'm hearing, Cancer. A lot of y'all's is to establish some sort of foundation. Okay. Some strong foundation to set up roots, to grow and evolve, to stay grounded, or to ground others around you. You will already have been doing this. Okay. Or struggling with this. Having a problem, maybe staying what you call that, stable. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I'm getting, Cancer. So I hope it made sense. Let's go to Gemini. Show me Gemini and their biggest soul contracts. Authority figures came out for you, Gemini. Oh, and I have to think about this one because I was immediately hearing a whole bunch of stuff like making decisions. I was hearing giving verdicts. I was hearing working with authority figures. So it might be different for a lot of y'all, but what I'm getting is some of y'all might have problems with authority figures. Okay, that is people of public service, like the police officers, like the courts, like the big people, government buildings. Y'all might have issues with that, always running into trouble with that. Being fair, being just is what I'm hearing as well. I don't know. Y'all biggest soul contract is to be able to like also be an authority figure is what I'm hearing. Like being somebody of a higher status or in charge. Okay. So this could be simply some of y'all getting in a higher position or being a manager or being a CEO or something like that. Being an authority figure. Okay. Some of y'all, this is like just simply being a parent, but having the authority and wearing the drawers or wearing the pants in your family. Okay. You know, it's going to be different for all y'all. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. But you are to make decisions fair and just. And maybe some of y'all got a problem with this. Okay. Apply it to your life. I'm getting, yeah, that's what's coming through. So I hope it made sense, Gemini. Y'all let me know. So let me see. Taurus. Show me Taurus's biggest soul contract in his life. Taurus, we got medicine man or woman. Who else got this card? Aquarius. So yeah, some of y'all are meant to be healers, okay? Tauruses, you are here to heal, to become a doctor, a nurse, a specialist, a surgeon, something like that. You are, whether this holistically or physically, you know, going to get a degree in those areas. I feel like you are a healer, okay? You are healing to others. You might get a whole bunch of people that's fucked up or damaged. They come towards you. This could be friends, family, lovers. You are to heal these people in this life, okay? Some of y'all, this is simply to work in medicine, okay? Apply it to your life. It's going to be different for everybody, again, but it's something like that, okay? This could also be spiritually speaking, because I keep hearing holistic doctors. They are people that, you know, they use herbs and spices and different things like that. They come up with their own medicine, okay? It's not the society's medicine, okay? And I ain't gonna get off into that because they their own drug company, the biggest one in the world, actually. But anyway, that's what I got for you, Taurus. I hope it makes sense. Let's go on to the last sign, which is Aries. Show me Aries' biggest soul contract in this life. I got farm. I wanted to put this back, but I'm not. We ain't doing that. Sometimes I don't even want to take these cards. But farm, when I get farm, I get a house, okay? Whether this is for a farmhouse or a house in seclusion or a house in the suburbs, some of our soul contract is simply just to establish stability, okay? So maybe you struggle with that, Aries, not having stability in life, living with other people, okay? I feel like you are to build your own farm, live on your own farm, or just establish stability in some type of way. We got farm here, and to me, you see the house, okay? It don't have to be a farmhouse for some of y'all. I'm hearing stability, okay? So your biggest soul contract here in life is just simply to get a house. Whether it's to buy a house, to build a house, to have your own stability, or, you know, something like that is what I'm getting here. For some of y'all, it could be something with animals, okay? That's like a side message for somebody here. That's an Aries. Yours is not about the house. It's about animals, okay? You might have a connection with animals. You don't know why. You know, people can communicate, and animals can too. So I'm getting like not Ghost Whisperer, but like Dr. Doolittle. Somebody can talk and communicate with animals here. Anyway, that's weird, but that's what I'm getting. So, yeah. This is your biggest soul contract here in this earth. And the person about the animals, how you would know, animals just tend to come to you or notice you. Like, I get you probably try to avoid them, don't know why. This is why. You are Dr. Doolittle in real life. That's weird. But anyway, that's what I got for y'all, Aries. I hope it makes sense. But sometimes I don't be knowing what's going to come out in these cards or what's going to come to me. These are downloads. So you cannot tell me they are wrong. This is what God is telling me for y'all. So you will know, because it will be happening in your life already. These is past life cards. These is past life soul contracts that you're here to fulfill in this life. Okay. So with that being said, I hope this video helped y'all. I hope y'all learned from it. I hope you take from it and just figure out your soul contracts and how to get through them, how to fulfill them, because they must be fulfilled. And that is all, you guys. Peace. Into the next video.